Hello and welcome to Act 1, Part 1 of Yuri's run through. We are actually going to start off on a save point of where I saved right before doing the first poem, because all that's going to be the same no matter what. So if you're new here, start from Act 1, Sayori, Episode 1. And the Sayori part was a long series because she was the first one I did. And so now we should be able to skip through a whole lot. So, all right, let's get started. Like and subscribe. Okay, so now. Yes, already saved. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. There we go. Okay. Hi again, Cabot. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I met her this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life goes really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs desperately to choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Cabot? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they really believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I am rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It is a literature club, after all.
Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
Or I might as well get started reading it, right?
Well, you don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book.
I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag.
Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right?
I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah.
You sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just that it's something I'm just not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright. I'll open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Oh, sorry, I was just...
You really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry.
I mean... Here, this should work, right?
I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open.
I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger.
Ah.
I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb as it flips to her side. But us holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page.
Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second.
Bet you did. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks.
We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. Oh my. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb.
Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
Oh, you think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Cabot, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb.
Alright, guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
Oh, that's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright.
I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and let it slip back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah?
My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Alright, we're gonna skip-a-dippity-doo. Yuri? Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start off with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional.
Oh, what was that?
Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering the whole of her face. He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or 2 from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Captain.
Me too.
Alright, so how about Natsuki, because she's gonna hate it. Ugh. Cabot, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home.
What? Harsh?
What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid?
I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about?
Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again.
Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Anyway, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Alrighty. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
There we go. This is a good poem, Cabot. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. That's why you impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really just happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. There we go. Okay. Great job, Cabot. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort.
Jesus! That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it by just feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though.
I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet.
Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. And there they have the cat fight. We're gonna go with Yuri this time.
Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem.
See?
Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different.
Oh, that's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously.
I understand, Yuri. You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed.
Well, that's...
But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute.
I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry.
But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you had just told her how you felt, this wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Now don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her aside. She's trapped, at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori,
she doesn't need to.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples the poem up with her hands and throws it in the trash. Oh, Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit on an adjacent chair.
Everything all right?
I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now.
No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you.
Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Cabot. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now.
It's nothing.
One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So,
huh? What thing did Natsuki say?
Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea.
Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay?
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Secretive. Another day passes and blah 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 blah. Oh! Oh, that's right. Sayori got hit in the face with a cookie.
Hey, Yuri.
Hmm? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. I was kind of just waiting for you.
If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first?
Not at all.
Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second?
Sure.
Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back.
I might as well walk with you.
Yeah, why not? Shall we go then?
Yeah.
Where are you two off to?
Huh? Yuri was gonna make some tea, so...
I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica.
We're just filling the water pitcher.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it?
That's...
Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me that there's something wrong with helping involve Cabot in club activities? Huh? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Cabot. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that?
Yuri?
Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me?
No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that.
Cabot, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me?
Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them anyway. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane.
No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that?
Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that?
Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Cabot, I really like being friends with you.
Thanks, Yuri. You're a pal. I like being friends with you too, buddy.
I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better.
Anyway.
Yeah. Shall we go?
Yeah.
Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Yuri completely in her emotions and me oblivious. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Oh, Cabot, do you like oolong tea?
Yeah. Anything's fine.
Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees Celsius. Now it's time to get the teapot.
You really do this properly, don't you?
Of course. I shouldn't do anything less when I'm making tea for others.
Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything?
Hoo-hoo. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed.
Perhaps I will.
Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming to herself.
You must be in a good mood now.
Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed? I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway.
Ah, that's great, Yuri. Ya buddy old pal. Just don't push yourself too much.
You're always worrying about me, Cabot. It's very endearing.
That's...
Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Cabot, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today?
Why is that?
It's a little easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk.
Oh, sorry, didn't realize.
That your huge honkers would hurt your back. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it.
Is that so? I wonder why that is.
It's most likely because
your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading, like a little gargoyle.
Yes, that's it. I have terrible reading posture, darling. So that's why we should sit on the floor.
Fair enough. Go ahead and get the book.
I retrieve the book from my bag.
I have some chocolate as well.
It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I keep hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book, except this time our bodies are even closer to each other. So I can help her spread her huge honking honkers. Support. Oh, I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until her shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Oh my. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. I'm pretty sure that's what she's going for, Betty. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. Because all my willpower to focus on reading. And that is where we are gonna cut it, guys. We will do more next time. But yeah, I think about half an hour is a good cutoff. So, thank you very much for joining me today. Can't wait to see more of what happens with good old Yuri. And I will catch you guys in the next time. Like, subscribe. Remember, you are important, you are loved, you and your feelings are valid. And I want you to take the energy of the badass that you are out into the world today, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this. Just be you, be badassedly and unabashedly you. And until then, I will catch you next time. Bye-bye!